بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد سيد الخلق أجمعين. اللهم ربنا اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وارحمنا واهدنا واهد بنا وعافنا ربنا وارزقنا وبارك لنا اللهم فيما أعطيتنا وارحمنا وأنت الرحمن وأنت الرحيم يا عزيز يا كريم. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the guidance and to show us the ways, the straight path, and to teach us from His book, the Quran, and to make us, inshallah, good Muslims here on the face of this earth, and reward us fully, inshallah, with Jannat al-Firdaus and life after. Inshallah, today we continue on with Surah Al-Qasas. Surah Al-Qasas in the Surah number 28 and the Juz' number 20. And we arrived at the ayah number 14. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Surah Al-Qasas in general, just like what we discussed last time, it talks primarily about Musa alayhi salam and the story of Musa alayhi salam, but in the perspective of early on time, earlier, where Nabiullah Musa alayhi salam, when he was born, and how he was raised and whose mother was fearful for his life, and on from this perspective all the way on. So we arrived at the point where Musa alayhi salam returned to his mother after she threw him in the water. The household of Fir'aun took him in, and they were looking for somebody to give him milk. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with His will, returned him back to his mother. And his mother eventually, she was feeding him, and she got paid for it actually as well. And this is the story here, got until the ayah number 14. وَلَمَّا بَلَغَ أَشُدَّهُ وَاسْتَوَى آتَيْنَاهُ حُكْمًا وَعِلْمًا وَكَذَلِكَ نَجْزِي الْمُحْسِنِينَ. وَلَمَّا بَلَغَ أَشُدَّهُ, and when he got to be بَلَغ يَبْلُغ, is that he reached. And from it is that you say balagh is to make somebody reach with the message. Ashuddahu, when he reached the shudda, the height of his strength, the height of his physical power, and there's no point to arrive beyond that point. So Allahu Alam, usually you arrive in the strength of somebody. It could vary from person to person, somewhere between like 20 years old, 22 years old or so, when he reached the height of his physical strength, his physical ability. Possibly a little bit older, somewhere in that, or a little bit younger, 18 to 24 or something like that. Wastawa, and he has istiwa. Istiwa is a very famous word in the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about الذي خلق السماوات والأرض في ستة أيام ثم استوى على العرش. Then he made istiwa on the arsh. Istawa, it means there's no way to explain the word stawa except when you associate it with something else to really understand what it means and what is the ultimate meaning of it. For instance, when you say istawa tabakh, tabakh is the food, or the food is being cooked. Istawa means that it reached the maximum flavor, tenderness, the maximum of what you need it to be that is suitable to be eaten. It's called istawa. When we talk about a building, istawa, it means the building reached its height, reaches perfection to the point that it is suitable for somebody to occupy it. When we talk about Musa alayhi salam, istawa, it means that he reached the level where he is a good, independent human being and reached the maximum of his strength and his mental ability and his capabilities as a human being. Istawa. When we talk about Rabbul Alameen, istawa ala al-arsh, it means that the arsh, the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, his throne, it is got to be in a condition or a placement after the 6 days of building Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it to be, reached the point that is suitable, it is equitable to be for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for him to, it is suitable for a creator like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to rule it, to make it as a running, universe as we see it today. So وَلَمَّا بَلَغَ أَشُدَّهُ, when he reaches ashuddah, his maximum strength, وَاسْتَوَى, and he made istiwa, and he reached that level of istiwa, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him something very important. آتَيْنَاهُ حُكْمًا وَعِلْمًا. We have given him hukm. Hukm, as we say, wisdom. Some of the scholars translated the word hukm as word means wisdom. And some scholars described it as it is the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is a form of, rule that he can rule the earth with some kind of something that he would be able to, deal with others, and for him not to lose control over things. That's called hukm. In this way here, we cannot use the word hukm as to beyond the word wisdom, because the prophecy has not come to him yet. He's obviously, the prophecy is going to come in later after he comes back from Midian. So at this point here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him hukm, gave him wisdom, gave him a way to treat things properly, to be controlling of things. Wa ilma, and knowledge, and he has full knowledge of what to do, how to get things done. So you remember, watch the word here. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not give him al-hukm, the wisdom, and did not give him the knowledge. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him hukma, wisdom, a little bit of it, enough of it, whatever it is. And ilma, knowledge, a little bit of it, a lot of it, whatever the situation is. وَكَذَلِكَ نَجْزِي الْمُحْسِنِينَ, and that's how we reward al-muhsinin. This is a great gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Musa alayhi salam, in preparation for the future job he's going to be doing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has bestowed upon him the elements for him to be in the place of prophecy, the place of to be a messenger to his people. Number one is that he needed to have physical attributes for him to be strong, for him to be independent, for him to have the body, the strength, for him to be able to lead his ummah, his nation, and he needs the wisdom to accompany this, and he has to have knowledge also as well for him to be able to be in that position. But this is the beginning of it, right? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you notice, he mentioned this many times. For instance, for Dawood alayhi salam, وَآتَيْنَاهُ حُكْمًا وَعِلْمًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, we have given him hukman wa ilma. Remember, Talut, when Bani Israel in Surah Al-Baqarah disputing his authority to be a king, and they said, أَنَّ يَكُونُ الْمُلْكُ لَهُ, how would he have the to be a king or to have the ownership like this? And وَلَمْ يُؤْتَ سَعَةً مِنَ الْمَالِ, and he does not have a lot of money. He does not have a whole lot of money for him to be a ruler. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answered, in the mouth or the tongue of the Prophet, he answered him back, it's the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And وَاللَّهُ أَعْطَاهُ بَسْطَةً مِنَ الْعِلْمِ وَالْجِسْمِ. He has given him a jism, the body, and ilm, the knowledge. So the rulers, they need to have the physical attributes for them to be rulers, to be prophets, to be messengers, to be able to lead, for others to follow them, as well as they need to have knowledge. And here in this case, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestowed upon Musa alayhi salam, Dawood alayhi salam, hukma. Look at Yusuf alayhi salam, and look at